What is up, people, and welcome back to my Rags to Riches F1 2010 to 2014 career mode. This is the career mode where we go from one of the worst teams in F1 2010 and try and work our way up through the ranks and through the teams and try and get a drive for one of the best teams in F1 2014. We are currently driving for Virgin in F1 2010, and if we have a look at the standings, we're in P6. P6 in the driver's standings in our first season on F1 2010 in a Virgin racing car after 2 wins. We got a race win last time around at the Belgian Grand Prix. We've got another race win in Canada, I believe. And then I believe we've got points finishes in Australia, China, Valencia. We got a win in Germany as well. So that was our 3rd race win. So we got a race win in Germany as well. And I think that might be it for points finishes. I'm not too sure. And we might have got one in Turkey. I'm not 100%. It wasn't actually even that long ago, so I can't remember. But still, 3 race wins this season. That's absolutely incredible. Now we head over to the Temple of Speed, Monza. We will see what we can do here. My previous experiences in the season with this car is that we don't have a lot of straight line speed, but we'll wait and see, and hopefully we can still get a good race result. So without any further ado, let's head over to Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. Here we go then, out of the Parabolica for our flying lap, our one-shot qualifying here at the Italian Grand Prix. Don't know where one-shot qualifying came from. We're not shopping, although we would like to buy pole position if that was possible. That would be amazing. Right, where is my braking point down towards turn 1? I think I broke well too early into that corner. Yeah, I definitely brake way too early into that corner, but we got through it okay. And we'll see how the rest of this lap goes. Okay, braking zone into turn 2. Let's try 200-meter board. Are we okay for that? Oh, we've completely overshot that corner. Will we beat the clock? That's the question right now. Maybe not if we take the line through the Parabolica like that. Come on, no. Right, on the power. Come on, please let me set a lap time. Please, it's going to be so close. Ah, we made it. Okay, right. Oh, that was a little bit too close for comfort, but we made it, and we can still set a flying lap time. 200-meter board, let's brake there. Once again, I broke a little bit too early into that corner, and then brake too late. I came off the, oh, qualifying over. Looks like we're starting at the back of the grid. Last the first challenge activated here at the Italian Grand Prix. Oh, well, that sucks. Right, okay, we might as well just end this session now. Although, we'll see what we can set. Let's see what lap time we can set. Scary 1. Okay, we didn't nail it that time. And we get invalidated for corner cutting. And we run it over another curb. Okay, that's qualifying over. Let's end it there and let's see where everybody else stands. So, unfortunately, starting way down at the back of the field after not setting a single lap time, messing up on our flying lap. Well, both our flying laps, cutting the corner on this first one, and then putting it into a spin on the second one, which it was pretty much over by then, and then cutting the corner in towards a Scary on the second lap as well. So, who got pole position? I think it was Fernando Alonso. Yes, it was Fernando Alonso beating Lewis Hamilton by 1/10 of a second. Then Mark Webber in 3rd. Sebastian Vettel 4th, very close between the top 4, with Jenson Button 5th, Felipe Massa in 6th, Nico Rosberg 7th, Schumacher 8th, Kubica 9th, and Jaime Alguersuari rounding out the top 10. Where is my teammate Lucas Di Grassi? Just ahead of me in P23. So, what can we do from last on the grid? Will it be a last to first challenge? Let's find out as we head over to the race for the Italian Grand Prix. It's race day. It's the Italian Grand Prix here at the Temple of Speed, and we'll be looking to find some speed here today. Not a good qualifying session. That puts us right down at the back of the field, and the race strategy for today, starting on the primes, pitting for the options on lap 7, and hopefully that can put us near the front of the grid. Nothing else really to talk about, so let's head down to the track and get today's race underway. My rival Fernando Alonso lines up in pole position with Lewis Hamilton alongside him in 2nd. Then it's my teammate in 23rd position, and I make it a Virgin back row lockout in 24th. Not a good qualifying session for myself. Unfortunately, not able to set a lap, but hopefully we can sort it out as the race goes on. As the lights come on now, it is 5 red lights, I believe. I'm not too sure. I can't see it, but it's the lights out, and away we go for the Italian Grand Prix. Straight away, putting it up into fast mixed revs. Right, Di Grassi, can I have the inside line, please? Nope, you're going to take the inside line, so I'm just going to take it nice and easy in towards turn 1. I'm not going to get involved too much. I'm just going to casually stroll into turn 1. Okay, we've got... Oh, I've messed that up. What a start. What? Di Grassi did the same thing. Lucas Di Grassi. The Virgins are not doing well here today at the Italian Grand Prix. But we still got 11 laps left to try and make this up. So let's see what we can do. Okay, somebody's going slow up ahead. I believe it's the HRT of Karun Chandok. He is the next guy ahead of us, so that seems like the most logical explanation. There's no smoke. I thought it was smoke pouring out of his car, but it's just him touching the grass on exit. Oh, getting so close to the gravel there. A little bit too close for comfort, but there's a couple of HRTs battling. There's a Lotus, I think, up ahead, so we're maybe going to have a look at for a move on Bruno Senna in towards Ascari. Let's just take it easy, like I said, with turn 1, although I didn't actually take it easy into that corner. And here we go, cutting quite a bit of Ascari there. Getting a great exit, though, and overtaking Bruno Senna for 22nd position. Right, what can we do on Karun Chandok? Where are you going to go, buddy? I'm going to go to the right-hand side. You can go to the left, and I broke really fucking late. Right, can we please sort out the Parabolica? Because for some reason, there's no grip down towards that corner. Right, I need to look for my brake marker board. 100 meter. We need to brake now. Okay, let's get in towards the Parabolica nice and tidy. Right, that's better. There we go. Although we've got Karun Chandok going around the outside. What sort of pace does he have? That was amazing from him. But looks like we're now picking up some slipstream from Heikki Kovalainen ahead of us. Down in towards turn 1. We need to brake at the right point. About now. Okay, let's go down in towards turn 1. Braking into the corner. And there we go. Oh my god, that was too close. Just lost the back end. Just a tiny bit. Nearly put us off the circuit. Luckily, I was able to catch it in time. But that could have been race over for us. Oh my god, I'm really struggling with that corner. I just can't find the braking point and then to turn in. The car just doesn't want to turn in. I've got no grip at the front. Good exit out of the second Lesmo though. Following in the slipstream, pull over to the left-hand side. Side by side with Jarno. Looks like got greater straight line speed. And there we go, got the job done on the second Lotus car. Here we go then, gaining on Kamui Kobayashi through Ascari. A nice line through theirs. He's going to be battling with his teammate of Pedro De La Rosa. Both drivers going very defensive, so I'm going to take the outside line. Brake just before the 100-meter board. Get the car turned in for the parabol. Oh, that is a terrible line. That's a how have we gone so wide? That was awful. But we've got drivers coming into the pits. A lot of drivers coming into the pits, in fact. A lot of drivers coming into the pits. Wow. They were all coming to pits very early. And that's going to promote me up into P11. Thank you very much. Breaking up the inside now, Kamui Kobayashi. Can we get the job done? We're broken later than the Sauber driver. Right, don't touch the curbs. Don't avoid the curbs at all costs. And there we go, getting the job done on Kamui and moving up into the points. What a start we have had to this race. Gaining so much on Vin Antonio Luizzi as we go down in towards the Parabolica there. Struggling to get my words out once again as we get so close to the back of Luizzi. Nearly going into the back of him, but luckily this time I managed to sort out my braking into that corner. Luizzi pulls into the pit lane and will be serving his first pit stop of this race. One of the Tauros's is up next, as my engineer Jeff says, and we'll be looking to maybe catch up to Buemi in the next couple of corners. We can brake quite late into the first corner. We just need to watch out for the curbs. That's the problem. If we get too much on the curbs, it can ruin our race. But we're up into P9, doing so good. We're doing a pretty good job so far in this race. Come on, Sebastian Buemi. What can we do on the Toro Rosso driver? We are following in the slipstream at the moment of Sebastian Buemi. Can we get the move done? No, we're not going to try it in towards the Ascari. It's very tight through this corner. And Buemi seems to be holding us up an absolute treat right now as we've had to go off the circuit just because I'm going too slow and I've got too much downforce to get through that corner, so I've got so much oversteer. But here we are following behind Buemi. We're going to take the outside line in towards the Parabolica, which hasn't really worked for us in the past, but we're going to try and hopefully it works this time. No, it hasn't. Buemi getting a greater drive up the inside, and he's on the inside of me still as another driver comes into the pits. Buemi, does he come into the pits? Yes, he does. It looks like everybody's coming into the pits, and there we go up into P2. Up into second place at the moment in this race. Not too sure who is still out on track. Is it Alonso or is it somebody else? I'm not 100% sure right now. As looks like we make that corner okay. Yes, we do. Alonso still out on track. So it looks like he's going a little bit deeper into this race on those option tyres. Surely he's not on primes because he set his fastest time on the option tyres. So surely he's on the option, sorry. So he's taken those quite a long time at the moment in this race. Right, is Alonso in the pits at the moment? He should be. Yes, he is. Okay, Alonso is in the pits right now. We should be coming into pits on the next lap. Not this one, but on the next lap. And that we'll be able to find out whereabouts we are in the standing order. So the last two laps have been very quiet here at the Italian Grand Prix. But we are coming into the pits on this lap. and into the pit lane we go. Right, we need a good pit stop here from the Virgin crew. You can see all the other guys mainly going through Ascari at the moment, and we're not too sure whereabouts we're going to be filtering out in this Grand Prix. They're going down in towards the Parabolica now, so it looks good. It looks right. Release me. Come on. Go, 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 go. And we could possibly be out in the top 4. No. No. No way have we done that. Last on the grid, and then out of nowhere, we are batting with Michael Schumacher for the final podium position if we can get the car turned in, which we do. And there we go. Oh my God. How on earth has that happened? How on earth has that happened? Looks like the overcut works an absolute treat on this game, because I've gone from primes to options being pretty much nowhere in this race. You know, I had that collision on the first corner, and then now I'm batting with Schumacher for 3rd place and trying to catch up to Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso to see what I can do in this race. This is absolutely incredible. Question is though, can I realistically catch up to Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso? Lewis Hamilton, maybe. Fernando Alonso could be a tough one. 3 seconds is the gap to Hamilton. It could happen. It could happen. We are also actually, in fact, gaining on Fernando Alonso. The gap to Alonso at the moment is 4 seconds, I think. 4 seconds. I'm not too sure. I believe, yeah, 4 seconds is the gap to Fernando Alonso. And there he is, just ahead of us. He's going slowly. I think he may have a problem or something. But Lewis Hamilton, right on his tail. If we can get him on this lap, we could definitely close in and try and get Fernando Alonso on the next one.
That's Hamilton. Go for the overtake.
Thank you, Jeff. That is all the motivation I need. To hear your voice telling me to go for the overtake. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Try and get Lewis Hamilton maybe in towards Ascari. Here we go. Great exit through the second Lesmo on the right-hand side of Lewis Hamilton. It's side by side all the way down to Ascari. He's going to have greater straight line speed. No, he's not. We've got the job done into Ascari. And there we go, up into P2. Right, Fernando Alonso, you are up next, my good sir. What can we do on him? What can we do on Fernando Alonso? We've got 1 lap left to go. Can we catch him? Oh, there we go. Nearly completely threw away my race there. Touching the curb a little bit too much. You heard the tyres squeal, but luckily I was just about able to hold on to it. I'm not too sure whether I will be able to get Fernando Alonso or not. We're just going to have to wait and see. Struggling for grip now. I feel like the fronts are just struggling to turn into these next couple of corners. We'll try though. We will try over the course of these final couple of corners. Down towards Ascari and then the Parabolica. That's all we have got left. I can see him as we come down in towards the final corner. I don't think it's going to be enough though to get Fernando Alonso, especially with a line like that through the Parabolica. If we had one more lap, what could have been here at the Italian Grand Prix? Still though, lost to 2nd place at the Italian Grand Prix when it looked like it was all over down in towards turn 2 and we had that spin, and then just getting caught up with a couple of drivers at the Parabolica as well. But 2nd place, what a result here today. Fernando Alonso though, he is victorious. Unfortunately, he is in that 3rd place, that Force India seat, which we are trying to get at this stage of the season. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get it here today, but still closing on the gap to the likes of Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel and Mark Webber, as Lewis Hamilton finishes behind us in P3, so it's only 3 points gained on him. But Michael Schumacher in 4th, Felipe Massa finishes today's race in 5th with Rubens Barrichello in the Williams. Good result for him in 6th place. Mark Webber down in 7th with Sebastian Buemi 8th. Jarno Trulli in the points here today 9th, and Karun Chandok gets HRT's first points of the season in 10th place. Then we have the likes of Nico Rosberg, Sebastian Vettel, Jenson Button, 14th, 15th, and 16th. Where is it? Is there anybody else who had a surprise? Not really. Vitaly Petrov and Adrian Sittel, though, way down at the back of the field. So not too sure what on earth happened to those two drivers. But still, 2nd place here today at the Italian Grand Prix. Where on earth did that come from? I'm not entirely sure. Only 1.7 second gap to Fernando Alonso as well. I feel like one more lap, we would have got the race victory, but unfortunately, it just wasn't the case here today. Let's have a look at how this affects us in the driver's standings, though, and we have moved up into 5th place, jumping above Nico Rosberg, putting us in a good spot at the moment still for that Williams seat. Of course, Williams is between 4th and 6th, whereas Force India seat for F1 2011 is between 1st and 3rd. The gap at the moment to Sebastian Vettel is 45 points. So 45 points is what we have to try and gain on Vettel, Hamilton or Alonso. Those three guys obviously very close at this stage of the championship, but there are still 5 races left to go and that's a lot of points up for grabs in this season. Nico Rosberg, though, he's still quite close to me in the championship, and Jenson Button in a McLaren can do absolutely anything, so he can certainly catch up to us as well and demote us down in towards that Lotus seat. But let's have a look at how it affects the constructors' standings, and we are still in 5th place. Not really closing in on Mercedes, as Michael Schumacher got some points here today, but still there is that chance that we could get Mercedes come the end of the season. We have, though, moved above Renault, I believe. I'm not too sure whether we got Renault in the last race, but we've definitely moved above them in this race here today, as we are now on 127 points, and they are 10 points behind us in the Constructors' Championship. And there we are, HRT, first points of the season, with Lotus now on 4. So that's it for the Italian Grand Prix. What a result for us here today. Let's head back to the menus. Another podium interview for the season. How many is that now? I think that's 3 or maybe 4 podium interviews that we've... No, definitely 4, maybe even 5 podium interviews that we've had this season, which is absolutely incredible. Did not expect this coming into F1 2010 and restarting the Rags to Riches series. But do you see yourself as challenging for the title? I'd usually say no, but more races like this, and we could be in contention for the title this season. It's not out of the question. You know, we have had in today's race, for example, drivers who should be up at the top of the standings not scoring any points. If that happens more this season and we get good results, then, you know, who is to say? Who's to say we can't win the championship this season? So with our current form, it's not out of the question. How do you find you cope with overtaking? That sounds like a really weird way to put that phrase, but overtaking is part of the job. Having confidence in the car makes it easier. Having no confidence in the car is difficult. Overtaking, it is part of the job at the end of the day, but I do feel like I have confidence in the car. But I don't tend to do much overtaking. I usually get the job done on strategy, doing the overcut and letting everybody get held up behind me. So overtaking, I guess, is just part of the job. And would you care to comment on the rumours? I can't really comment on it at the moment. My main concern is to perform at my best on the track, which of course is my aim, because, you know, the better results I get, the more likely I am to drive for a better team like Force India and Williams this season. If I have really bad results over the rest of the season, it's likely that I will just be driving for Lotus for F1 2011. I don't really want that. I want to drive for Williams or Force India, as they are a lot better teams than Lotus are. What a race there then at the Italian Grand Prix. Another 2nd place this season. What a result. 18 points in the bag. And looking at the standings before we end today's episode, 5th in the driver's standings. Was not expecting that coming into F1 2010. I was expecting maybe to get a top 6. No, I was expecting hopefully to try and get top 11. Try and get a Lotus seat for F1 2011 and then see what we can do. But at the moment, we are on for a Williams seat. A Williams seat for F1 2011, which could be absolutely incredible, because we had a fantastic time last time around in Rags to Riches when we drove for Williams. Got 5 race wins, but so far this series is going a lot better than I expected. So with Williams, I could possibly get more race wins than just the 5 that I had last season. I've already got 3 in my career in the Rags to Riches, the sequel, which is absolutely amazing. So 125 points in the bag, and trying to close up to Mark Webber, and maybe even the top 3 as well for a Force India seat next year. But that is it for today's Italian Grand Prix. Up next is the Marina Bay Street Circuit in Singapore. I'm not too sure how that's going to go. Just got to make sure I keep it out of the barriers, and hopefully we can still do a good job. But if you have enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to smash a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so for weekly Formula One content, and I will see you next time at the Singapore Grand Prix. But until then, it's goodbye from me.